In August 2020, I decided to leave Instagram. I found that it was being quite negative on my mental health, and I recorded a video and put it up on LinkedIn and onto Instagram, and received some really interesting reactions that a lot of the stuff that I was saying really resonated with lots of people who were also feeling similar. And what was really interesting about leaving Instagram was the reactions at first. I got very similar reactions to leaving Instagram as I got when I quit alcohol 2.5 years ago. Oh, I wish I could do that. Oh, it makes me feel so rubbish. Oh, when I had a break, I felt so much better. Oh, it's so fake. I hate it. But a lot of these people were struggling to actually leave the app or actually stop using it, which really fascinated me as it showed the real focus and kind of reliance that we have on Instagram as a platform. And I've been reflecting over the last 6 months about Instagram, because leaving it is quite a big decision, although it sounds really silly to say it is a big decision. I think for my age group and base of doing what I'm doing, it is actually quite a big deal not having Instagram. And I've been reflecting about myself and how I show up. And I'm somebody who believes in social media as a force for good, but also believes that there is a lot of negatives that come with it. And if I look at my social media feed right now, my Instagram feed, you'll see lovely photos of me with the new boyfriend that I got in the summer, the fact that I was growing my team and my business, I was working out, I was spending some time, very fortunate to be a member of a lovely spa in Farnham. I had my book published, and all of these great things are all over my feed. And that's because obviously I'm showing up with the good stuff and hoping and aiming to maybe inspire people. However, you know, you also want to share the real stuff, but the real stuff doesn't really get many likes or engagements unless you share a nice photo of yourself. If you go through my feed, you'll see the stuff that gets the most engagement isn't really the motivational, the educational stuff. It's the stuff where it's a photo of me, particularly photos of your face. So if you're trying to grow a brand or share a message, it shouldn't really matter what you look like, but the platform does push you towards wanting to upload perfectly curated photos, because that is kind of the world that we're living in. Just to quickly say here, before I carry on, that this is all my opinion, right? This is my feeling about the platform. You might feel completely differently, so I completely understand if you do. Going off the platform was interesting because I had times when I thought something good would happen. I'd think, oh, I want to put that on Instagram. Oh, I can't. And I would really question as to why I wanted to put that thing on Instagram. Why would it make me feel good to share that good thing in my life? Whereas when something bad would happen, I wouldn't think, oh, I desperately want to put that on Instagram. But actually that was the reality of what was going on. The stuff behind the photos is the stuff that we actually don't see. And if I think about, I went off Instagram mid-August, I think around the 11th was when I kind of went off, and from then on actually some things went a little bit crap in my life, as life does. It goes in peaks and troughs, and you know, I wouldn't have probably shared all that bad stuff if I had been on Instagram, or would have tried to, but perhaps it wouldn't have landed in the way that I would have meant it to. You know, things that happen in terms of, I found out from my boyfriend's ex that he was cheating on me. Yeah, that does happen to 28-year-olds. I thought it was a 15-year-old thing as well. I was living alone, and I'm really fortunate with the house that I live in, but obviously going through lockdowns, having gone through a breakup, living alone, going into winter was really, really tough. My Google search history would show some pretty hectic Google searches, you know, how do you know if your boyfriend's cheating on you? How to get over heartbreak? How do you know if you're going through burnout? I struggle a lot with comparison, you know, people that are more successful than me, maybe more attractive than me, or just have generally having a perceived better experience of life than I was having in that moment. And it caused me to really question stuff. Am I making the right decisions? Am I doing the right things? And, you know, is this a platform which actually, you know, would bring me joy, or would give me a place where I felt like I could really share a message? And, you know, there are lots of things that I'm passionate about and that I care about that I would love to share and help people with. But I have a feeling personally that there's a feeling of judgment and a curated, filtered life which goes up on Instagram. And the real stuff just isn't meant for that. I know there are some people doing it, and I really, really admire that they are. But for me, I don't feel that I can handle my own mental health on that platform, because it just makes me feel so crap. So when I was kind of reflecting, I realised on about the 5th of January that, oh my God, it's the new year, so it's time for me to go back on Instagram. It literally filled me with dread. And I know you're probably thinking, how can you spend this much time thinking about a social media platform? But bearing in mind what I do for a living, so working with people to grow their brands online and share their message, and being somebody that has a message and really wants to put that out there, not being on such a big platform is making quite a big decision, right? So saying that I'm not going to use this platform does actually have an impact on us as a business. So it is a big decision for me. And I actually do believe it's a big decision for everyone, even if you may not have the awareness of what it's doing to your mental health. So I was thinking about the platforms and the emotions that they evoke, and whether that's a positive or negative emotion, which you'll know how you feel about certain platforms. We all do have opinions now about these platforms that are available to us. And I was thinking about how I feel personally about the platforms, and what do I feel that they celebrate? What do I feel for me they lean towards? And I was thinking, LinkedIn and YouTube, I think, are a place where you can share your skills, your expertise. You can, on LinkedIn, you're creating business connections, you're growing your business, your business feel. YouTube's a great place to kind of explore using video. And again, sharing your knowledge, educating people. Twitter's really about what you have to say and sharing your message about what you have to say, and kind of, it's not about photos, it's just about, it's about words. Facebook, I think, has become a place really where it's about community. Obviously, there's the whole advertising platform side of it, but in terms of growing a brand on it now, it's pretty tough based on the algorithms. But for me, Facebook's a nice place for community and those personal connections. And TikTok, which I'm going to do a video on next week, I'm so excited about, because I think TikTok is about celebrating who you are. And if when I talk about this in the video next week, I'll kind of go into why I'm excited about TikTok as a platform this year. When I look at Instagram, I think, well, Instagram's about just a photo, a static photo. And how often can you freeze a moment in your life and have that photo actually represent what's going on behind the scenes? And, it's all about likes, it's about engagement, it's about your feed looking nice. It's just about stuff. It's about what you have and how you look. For me, it's not really about who you are. So these are the reasons that I've decided to not focus on Instagram anymore. And actually, my goal really isn't to go back on Instagram for a while. Maybe I'll change my mind. Maybe I will decide that actually it is a platform that I want to be on. But I would question for you whether any of the social media sites are having an impact on your mental health, and if you're on them because you feel that you have to be. For me, once the negatives outweigh the positives, it's time to actually get rid of that thing. And I invite you to make a list of the platforms that you're using and kind of weigh up how they make you feel, because we unconsciously use these platforms now. We unconsciously spend hours and hours a day on them. You can see on your phone how much time you spend. And I invite you to question your own message and what you want your message to be in 2021 and where you really want to share that.